Good morning, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna do another day in the life of an influencer kind of vlog type of thing. Right now I am actually currently on a conference call with Apple. We have to do these little check-ins every day that we are scheduled to work, even though we're not working in the store right now. This is kind of like my working from home time. Honestly, I always put myself on mute and I kind of just listen to the information and retain it. I don't really participate. So yeah, that's why I just have that playing in the background so it shows that I'm in the meeting. But I'm also kind of just planning what I'm going to do today. If you guys saw my last day in the life of an influencer vlog, then you know that I always like to kind of plan out my day ahead of time. I have a note. Let me see. I made a note on my computer already, just outlining what my day is going to look like. So I woke up like 2 hours ago and I just started planning out the videos that I'm going to do today. So from 10 to 11, I've already planned out my content. And then I have from 11 to 11:30 is my Apple meeting, which I'm in right now. Then right after I finish this meeting, I have to film a skincare video, which I'm gonna show you guys some behind the scenes of. Then I'm going to eat lunch, and this video is sponsored by HelloFresh, by the way. I'm actually going to be trying a vegetarian lunch today, so I'm excited about that. I've always kind of wanted to get into being a vegetarian or like exploring vegetarian options, but I just am not very educated on it. So I figured, you know, my HelloFresh subscription would be a good time to try out an easy vegetarian meal. So for lunch, we're going to make that. And then after that, I'm going to eat. And then I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about sponsorships and what it's like to have management, a little bit of the behind the scenes of that type of stuff. And then I also had to do some sponsored content later today. It's just an Instagram story, and I'm probably gonna have my boyfriend help me record that, so I'll show you guys some behind the scenes of that as well. And then that's gonna be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit in this meeting really quick so I can listen in, and then I will come back to show you guys how I get ready to film. All right, y'all, so I just finished setting up my bathroom. Wow, my mirror is literally a hot mess. I'm gonna have to clean that. But I usually like to use a different light than my ring light, but my bathroom is so freaking small. It makes it so hard for me to get the proper lighting in here. But I have my computer here so I can see myself as I'm filming myself in the mirror. I am gonna get some glass cleaner so I can clean that. So yeah, I am just gonna go ahead and film the skincare routine. I put a little time lapse so y'all can watch me behind the scenes.
Sitting in my throne, trying to get that late view. I'm plugging to the natural. Remind myself of love and light. Could have been just shadow, but it's shallow water on my back. Listening forward to my fantasies. Won't take this world for granted. And self find all the answers. Confused so I don't follow.
Just finished filming my skincare video and my skin is looking good, looking glowy. So now I can actually go ahead and remove this part from my schedule. I'm just gonna clean up the bathroom a little bit because I kind of made a mess. And then I will meet you guys in the kitchen so that we can try our vegetarian meal for the first time. Okay, y'all, so I finished cleaning the bathroom and now we are gonna get ready to eat some lunch. So like I mentioned, I want to try a vegetarian meal from HelloFresh. So I have 3 different ones to choose from. I have the chickpea tacos, which is the one I think I want to make. And then I also have zucchini and mushroom bibimbap and creamy dreamy mushroom pasta. So I think I'm gonna go with the tacos just because I'm in a taco mood. It's a chickpea taco. So of course it's meatless. Now I literally hate cooking. Like, I hate cooking. I've tried so many times to get into it, but I just don't enjoy it. So luckily with HelloFresh, when I do have those days where I want to cook, it makes it super easy for me to do. That's pretty much why every time you guys see me cook on my channel, it's a HelloFresh meal, because I suck at anything else. Plus everything comes pre-portioned, so you don't have to worry about like using too much or too little of the ingredients. Like I mentioned, I went with the vegetarian one this time, but you can choose between family or classic, which would include meat, vegetarian or calorie smart. And you can also choose to get a portion for 2 people or 4 people. I just chose the 2 people one because it's just me. Whenever I order from HelloFresh, the ingredients are always high quality. They're never like dry. And you get the meals shipped straight to your door every week. Or you can always cancel whenever you want. Like there's no obligation to stay on it. Plus, if you're super busy, it's great because most of the meals can be made between 20 to 45 minutes. This is perfect for me, especially on days like this where I'm literally working all day to create content. As you guys have probably seen in my previous day in the life of an influencer vlogs, when I take days like this to work on content, it literally can take me all day. So I can't spend like an hour or 2 hours just cooking lunch. The instructions are super easy to follow. These are the 3 meals that came in mind. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and make the tacos. I actually really like chickpeas, so I think that I'm actually gonna enjoy this. This is gonna be my first time making a vegetarian tacos. Plus, since everything is pre-portioned, you don't have to worry about wasting too much. The packaging, including the paper and the box that comes in your HelloFresh meal, is almost made entirely from recyclable or already recycled material. So HelloFresh's carbon footprint is actually 25% lower than those of grocery store bought meals. I feel like the vegetarian meals also probably take a little bit less time to make. So I have all my ingredients right here. I know you guys really like when I do like those montages of me cooking, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix this up. I'm gonna play some music in the background so y'all can just enjoy the visuals.
You out this world, need some space for me. I'm out here, girl, I'm back up in the street. So I don't really got time to fuss and fight no more with you. Really got time to fuss and fight no more. Why you tripping, baby? You know you invited. Acting like you know what's up, but you ain't psychic. Told you nothing going down, but you ain't like it. I told you nothing going down when you excited. So if you want a song, go and get the one. Show me the money, get the money, let's go down, down. Break it up. When we make it all, make it all, make it all. Break it up, then we make it all back, then we. You out this world, need some space for me. I'm out here, girl, I'm back up in the street. So I don't really got time to fuss and fight no more with you. Really got time to fuss and fight no more. What's the problem, what's the issue? Everything I said has been true. Love you, then he ditched you. Nobody knowing what we into. Not because of what you've been through. I know what you can do. Why you tripping, baby? You know you ain't like it. Acting like you know what's up, but you ain't psychic. Told you nothing going down, but you ain't like it. I told you nothing going down when you excited. So if you want a song, go and get the one. Show me the money, get the money, let's go down, down. Break it up. When we make it all, make it all, break it up. When we make it all, make it all. You out this world, need some space for me. I'm out here, girl, I'm back up in the street. So I don't really got time to fuss and fight no more. Wait.
All right, y'all, so I just finished making my tacos. I am kind of pumped because they smell so good. I skipped out on the sour cream because I don't like sour cream, but other than that, I used everything else that came in the kit, and I just added some chips on the side, some tortilla chips. I also have this glass of water that I poured earlier today, just so that I could let the fruit infuse. We got cucumber, we got kiwi, lemon, and basil in here. So I've been really enjoying using my mason jars to create infused water recipes. Let me know if y'all want to know some of my favorite infused water recipes. All right, y'all, so while I eat, I figured I would talk to you guys a little bit about sponsorships, the whole process of getting sponsorships, what sponsorships really mean, why I decided to get a manager to help me with sponsorships and all that stuff, because I do have to plan to do sponsored content this evening, actually do in a couple days. By the way, I'm tearing these tacos up. They are so good. It's so good. Like, it's obviously not meat. It's not, it doesn't taste like taco with meat, but the seasoning around the chickpeas kind of makes up for it. It's really good. If y'all are interested in trying HelloFresh, you already know I got a coupon code for you. You can use my coupon code Kaice80 to get $80 off your first purchase, including free shipping. Additional restrictions do apply, so go to HelloFresh.com for more info. You can also check out the link in my description box to go directly to HelloFresh. So I'm actually kind of pumped because you guys know I love Necessaire, and my manager got me a sponsorship with them for an Instagram story. That's what I'm going to be working on this evening. Before I do sponsor content specifically, I always like to read over the briefing. Whenever we get sponsorships, there is like a creative brief that the company will send to us. Usually the content brief kind of gives you an idea of what they're looking for. It tells you like the things that they want you to say. Sometimes they give inspiration photos. My manager and I actually share a Dropbox where the brand sends her the briefing, and then she uploads the briefing to the Dropbox so I can see it and access it at any time. I'm just trying to log into my Dropbox right now. So we share a folder called 2020 brand deals, and then these are all the brand deals that I am working on or have so far. So inside of the Necessaire folder, there's a folder for content and there's a folder for legal, and the legal will include the contract between the company and the creative briefing. Just to give you guys an idea, this is what the creative brief looks like. So I'm currently just looking over the creative brief to kind of get an idea of what it is I want to do. Usually they tell you the things that they want you to say or things that they want the audience to know about the product. Never has to be word from word. They always want it to be very organic or in your own words, which would be great for me because I already love the product. But it just helps to have a visual of exactly what the product is so you don't say something that's wrong or mislead your audience. And then again on here they give like an example of what they're looking for. So like I said, mine is for a story, so they just gave like a story inspiration. So let me tell you guys the difference between a sponsorship and just like a regular product gifting. So with a sponsorship, this means that the brand is paying you to talk about the product. Now the different types of sponsorships, depending on what content they're looking for. For YouTube specifically, there is a dedicated video sponsorship, which means the entire video has to do with that one brand only. Those are the ones that you can usually get paid the most for because you're dedicating an entire video to talk about that product or to talk about that brand. And then there's also product mention sponsorships where you can incorporate the product or the brand into a video, but it's not the main focus. Usually the rate is not as high because the entire video is not about the product or brand, and you're talking about other products within the video as well. For Instagram, of course, you can get sponsored posts, you can get sponsored videos or Instagram TV videos. There's also sponsored stories like I'm doing for Necessaire. Sometimes brands will do like story takeovers where you'll be able to log into their Instagram and do a story on their page. Sometimes they pay you for that, sometimes they don't. So there's all different types of sponsorships, but basically what a sponsorship means is the brand is paying you to talk about the product or talk about their brand. Now, even though a person might get gifting from a brand or PR, which means public relations, doesn't necessarily mean that the brand is going to pay the influencer to talk about the product. So you guys may see influencers, even myself, do a lot of unboxings on Instagram. Typically with those type of unboxings, they're not paid. The brand just sends the product to the influencer with hopes that the influencer will like the product or will show the product on their platform, but it's not paid. And in that case, we are allowed to use the products in any one of our videos, but we don't get paid for that video. We don't get paid to create that content. We just get the product for free. And a lot of people get that confused sometimes. They think, oh, because they sent her the product, she's being paid to talk about it, but no, that's not how it works. Before I had a manager, I got all of my brand deals or sponsorships on my own. Now, if I'm being honest, I have never really pitched myself to brands. Typically, the sponsorships that I got previously were just simply because the brand noticed me or they noticed my videos or my Instagram or whatever, and they reached out to me and wanted to work with me. And then from there, they either give you a rate that they're willing to pay, or sometimes you can negotiate depending on what your rates are. And your rates will pretty much be determined by your audience, your engagement, your followers, subscribers, wherever it is you're posting. You can also factor in your YouTube equipment, how long it takes you to film, produce, and edit all of your content. I honestly was never really good at creating the perfect rate for myself. Like, I feel like I always lowballed myself, and I ended up just doing certain sponsorships with the rate that the brand offered me without ever really negotiating or pitching myself for a higher rate. And so that leads me into why I decided to get a manager, because I just tend to be, what's the word? not a pushover, but I tend to be a little bit just not aggressive in that sense when it comes to asking for money or really like getting paid for my worth. So ultimately, that's why I decided this year that I really wanted to have a manager. It's not a secret that I have a manager. It's not a secret who my manager is. You can actually go check her page out. Her Instagram name is @MissJGray, and it is under the management team called Image is Everything. The process was kind of extensive. Like, I had to talk to them about what my goals were as an influencer. She had to kind of review my content to make sure that I was really serious about it. They tend to be very picky because it's a very small management company, and she's very attentive to each one of the people that's in the management. So it was honestly kind of a blessing that she decided to work with me because she gives her all, you know what I'm saying? And she is just really good at negotiating higher rates. She's really good at talking to brands, getting them to understand influencers' value, and it's pretty much her passion, pretty much to get more Black influencers out into the media. And so I've had nothing but great experiences so far. A lot of people are afraid to get into management or to have management because they feel like, you know, they might take over your brand, or they might not work as hard as you would on your own. And honestly, I was afraid because I have been doing this on my own for about 5 years. So to kind of let my entire, you know, brand go to somebody else, well, not go to her completely, because she doesn't control, you know, my creative or anything. She pretty much just manages my business stuff, my money, and sponsorships and stuff like that. But just to put that into the hands of somebody else can be kind of hard. But honestly, it's the best thing I've ever done because, like I said, she will negotiate the perfect rate for me for whatever it is that a brand wants me to do. She has connections in the industry, which is another reason why I wanted a manager, because I kind of felt like I was getting stuck at a point where I was only working with people that I knew, and I wanted to get myself out there more. And so she has connections where she's able to connect me with other brands, bigger brands. Once this corona stuff is over, I'm hoping that she'll also be able to help me get into more events and be involved in more beauty events. And it just takes a lot of work off of myself, because it's one thing to do this creative process all the time, to create content all the time, but it's another thing to have to do that and manage emails, manage your calendar, manage sponsorships, like stay in contact with everyone. Like, it is really hard to make it a one-man job. And so for her to lift the weight off my shoulders in that sense, I can just focus on making content. And she reaches out to me whenever she gets a sponsorship that she thinks I might like. We talk about it a little bit, I see if it fits my brand, and then she takes it from there. All I have to do is focus on making the content and sending it out so that the brand can approve it. Once you get to a certain point in your YouTube career or your influencing career, I recommend getting a manager, because a lot of brands will feel like they can take advantage of influencers, and when you have a manager, they just know how to talk the talk, you know? Like I said, she doesn't control any of my creative anything. She doesn't tell me what I can and cannot post. She simply just manages the business side of everything that I do. She also manages my calendar so that I can make sure that I have enough time to do sponsorships on top of doing my organic content. And also, I know sometimes you guys probably see sponsored videos back to back on, you know, YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and you guys may feel like, oh, you know, this is too much sponsored content at one time. Why are they doing so many sponsored posts back to back? But honestly, that just happens sometimes. Like, sometimes we'll go months without having a sponsorship, and then we'll get like 4 within the same 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And typically the brand has full control over what date we post them. So let's say, you know, I have a sponsorship with Necessaire that I have to post on Sunday. That sponsorship could have started 2 weeks ago, but the posting date is on Sunday. But then let's say I get another sponsorship that I just got emailed about 2 days ago, but they want me to post it on Tuesday. The Necessaire content is already set to go live on Sunday. That skips Monday because I'm probably not going to post 2 days in a row. And then Tuesday is that next sponsorship post that I have to post. But they were scheduled at 2 totally different times, probably recorded at 2 totally different times. It's just the timeline that the brand wants, and so I have to follow that. When I do have sponsored content, I do try to mix in organic content as much as possible, but sometimes they just overlap, and that's how it is. When it comes to beauty influencers, a lot of us don't make, you know, as much money as like a family channel or like a vlog channel just solely on YouTube. You guys probably know we get paid from YouTube through AdSense, which is basically Google, and they put the ads on the videos and we get paid per view on those videos because of the ads. Typically with beauty videos, the AdSense is not that great, and so we do have to make up for that by doing sponsored content. especially when you get to a point where it's like full time for you, or you do it as your main source of income, which is the point that I'm trying to get myself to. So I don't think you guys should be afraid of influencers doing sponsored content, or you should, you know, not watch it because it's sponsored. I'm lucky enough to now have a manager that knows my aesthetic, that knows the brands that I like, and knows the brands that I want to work with. And so a lot of the sponsored content that you guys see me doing, like going forward, is going to be strictly things that you guys have already seen me use, and that I'm finally being paid to talk about, which is like a blessing. And it's a blessing not only for me, but like anyone who's in this influencer space who have been promoting brands for free for forever. Because when you think about it, as influencers, we are literally like walking money bags. When you guys see us post something on our Instagram, or post something on our Instagram stories, or post or talk about something on YouTube, sometimes you guys instantly go buy it. And it's only fair for us to be compensated for that exposure. And not only for the exposure, but also for all the work that we put into creating the content. Because there's a lot to it, you guys. Like the pre-production, the post-production, the editing, even making the thumbnail, making the captions, the creative process sometimes can be hard. So when it comes to sponsored content, don't think of it like, oh, they're just doing this to be paid to talk about it. Like, no. We're being paid for the work. We're being paid for the exposure. We're being paid for sometimes even years of promoting that product prior, and finally being compensated by that brand for it when they've already made thousands and thousands of dollars off of our word and our work. When you see sponsored content on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, support the person, because you never know what it took for them to get there. You never know, you know, what that money is doing for them. Some people, I can't speak for everyone, but some people really do just do sponsorships with anybody just because. I'm not one of those people, and I hope you guys know I'm not one of those people. So yeah, that's my whole spiel on sponsored content and my experience with having a manager so far. It's currently 4:32, so I'm doing great on time. My boyfriend gets off of work at 7, so once he gets home, I'm gonna actually have him help me with the necessary content, because the main focus is the body lotion, but I do want to do like an in-shower portion as well. But the way that I see it, this is like my post-production in my head, I kind of want the camera to be moving as I'm showing the products. So I'm gonna have him record it for me. So I gotta wait for him to get off to help me with that later. In the meantime, I'm just gonna chill, and I'll come back when I do that. I just wanna show you guys my little setup. So in the shower, I showed the eucalyptus body wash, and I made this cute little like thing with my eucalyptus plant that I had. I just used this, I don't even know where I got this from, but it's like a little jar. I just put some water in it and put a eucalyptus plant in there. You gotta get creative sometimes. And then for the focus, which is supposed to be the body lotion, I made this little setup over here with the candle, my little aloe plant, and then I'm also showing the body serum and the deodorant behind it. So I'm just getting ready to take some photos of this. I got my camera right here, so I'll make sure all the settings are correct. Typically for shots like this, I just like to shoot in auto, so I have it on auto already. This camera is literally so big, so it's kind of hard to take photos like this. I'm trying to also show the products behind it. Sometimes I'll also just like move things around, get different angles. Get a couple different angles. And then I also need some video footage for Instagram stories. So for my Instagram stories, I typically do it up and down like this, so it's easier to edit. So I'm just gonna take like a little slow-mo. Excuse Frenchie in the background. I just have one more thing that I want to do in the shower, so I just set up my camera. I'm gonna get back in the shower. The struggle. But sometimes I have to do that. Like sometimes I literally have to film a part, and then I think of something else, and I literally get back in the shower to film the other idea that I had. So got my camera set up. I'm gonna film this last part, and then I will come back to show you guys how I do the lotion part. Okay, that's done. Mind y'all, it's like 9 o'clock right now. I've been filming all day. So I put the camera right here. So you guys can see here, you can see the stuff in the corner, but I don't know if I'm gonna fit right here. I'm gonna move that towel thing. So the lens that I have on my camera right now is a 50mm, but I'm gonna switch it for this 18x35mm, which will give me a wider view. Switching the lens. Okay, this lens is so heavy, I get scared it's gonna fall sometimes. But that should give me a wider view. The positioning is literally what takes me the longest sometimes, because I be wanting to get that good angle. And sometimes it's hard to figure out what is gonna show in an Instagram story. Now that drizzle shot, that is so important. I be wanting to make sure you could see it perfectly. Y'all, I'm over here squeezing this and the thing is not even open. But I have an open one, so I'm not gonna open this one. I'm gonna use the other one, which is right here. It's already open, so I'm gonna worry about it. Okay, let's try this again. I'm so particular about these shots. Oh, I try to get a mirror shot, so I just lifted my camera so it would face here. Okay, so I think I got everything I needed to get. I'm just gonna show some more shots of the other products and then I'm good. Okay, y'all, so it is currently 12:14 a.m. and I'm just now getting ready to import all of my content. Literally the 2 videos that I did today. Well, the YouTube video I did and then the necessaire. Frenchie is so mad at me right now because he don't want to be in the cage. But yeah, I'm just getting ready to import the necessary content I just did and the video that I did earlier to my computer so that it'll be all there and ready for me to edit tomorrow, because I'm damn sure not doing it tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this little vlog. I know it's kind of all over the place. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check my description box below for the HelloFresh coupon. And hopefully I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye!